Welcome back to Coaching Conversations. I'm Maria Sabio.
And I'm Lourdes Laifer. Today, we're sharing from our newly released book, A Path to Resilience, Small Steps to an Unshakable You, currently available at Barnes & Noble, Bookshop, and Amazon.
It's a modern interpretation of ancient wisdom blended with psychology and mindfulness. It's one quote, one interpretation, one takeaway you can actually use today as a daily practice. And the more you return to it, the more it returns you to your center.
Let's begin with today's quote, which is centered around the concept, reflect daily on your actions. Here's the quote. The way you handle the small stuff is the blueprint for how you'll handle the big stuff. Live every detail with your highest purpose in mind.
And that quote is the ultimate self-audit. We're discussing reflect daily, reflect daily on your actions. The understanding that you simply can't grow what you don't examine. Character is built in the daily grind, not just the rare crises.
We can't truly excel in the daily grind without keeping our feet on the ground and our vision aiming for something transcendent. Every small move, a text, an email, a hurried reply, connects your individual self with that larger, purposeful picture.
If you just think of your core principles like emergency cash, they need to be available and within arm's reach for when life becomes really chaotic. You can't just wing it and hope you'll act with integrity when it really matters. You have to train for it in the small moments. The daily reflection ensures you're ready.
Yeah, success isn't about, what you accomplish. It's not just about what you accomplish. It's about how you show up again and again with your best self at the ready. We see this rigorous commitment to self-examination across many disciplines. For example, James Clear, his work, Atomic Habits, is a modern manual on daily reflection. He emphasizes the 4 laws of behavior change, forcing readers to reflect on and track their tiny daily actions, the small stuff, to ensure they're building the identity they desire, the big stuff. Brene Brown constantly shares her own struggles and reflections to model the daily examination needed to align one's life with vulnerable authenticity.
Those are 2 great examples. And someone else who had to fundamentally restructure her life based on the practice of daily reflection is Arianna Huffington. She's the media mogul and wellness advocate. Arianna initially operated under the assumption that success was built on endless hustle and burnout. And this mentally led her to collapsing from exhaustion, and she actually broke her cheekbone. That physical hit that she got there, it forced her into a necessary period of really deep reflection.
And she used that moment as a blueprint for change. Her subsequent work, focusing on well-being and sleep, is the result of a commitment to a daily self-audit. She now structures her life and business around the principle that the way you handle your small personal details, your sleep, your presence, your focus, it directly impacts your larger professional success and ethical leadership. Her entire professional pivot was the ultimate form of reflection. She realized her actions were betraying her true well-being and that her highest purpose couldn't be achieved while operating from a place of chronic exhaustion.
Yeah, she's such a great example. So, now she ensures every decision honors her core value of balanced living, demonstrating that self-care isn't a distraction, it's a foundation. Now, this isn't just for gurus or CEOs. This is the necessary daily work for anyone who's serious about building character. Reflection is your internal quality control.
Yeah, so here's how to apply this concept of living every small detail with your highest purpose in mind in your own roles. So, as a business professional, Your highest purpose is to integrity, client trust, and clarity. So let's give you a scenario. Maybe you receive an email asking for a report by 5 p.m., but it would require you to rush and cut corners on the data. Reflection, you pause and ask, am I showing up as the person who values clarity and accuracy, or as someone who chases convenience and cuts corners? You choose to reply immediately, stating that you can deliver a partial by 5 p.m., but the complete and accurate version will be available at 9 a.m. tomorrow. So you use the small action, the email reply, to reinforce your highest value, integrity.
Another example would be if you're a student and your highest purpose is that intellectual rigor and honest effort, not just getting the grade and passing your exams. And a possible scenario that you might experience is you're working on a challenging assignment or preparing for a test, and the easy choice might be to just skim the reading material and basically just phone it in. When you actually stop and you reflect in action, you pause and you ask, am I tapping into something for my own learning and understanding, or am I just hustling for that grade? That question will give you the much needed reset to stick to your integrity and choose to put in the difficult work of wrestling with the material yourself, knowing that the quality of your effort is what matters for your long-term growth.
Yes, a wise choice to wrestle with the material yourself. And then as a parent or a friend, your highest purpose is presence, empathy, patience, right? An example might be that your child interrupts you for the third time, or a friend calls for advice while you're deeply focused on a task trying to get something done, right? So you take a moment to reflect and you realize that the way you handle this small interruption is the blueprint for the relationship. So you maybe set aside the task for a minute and give them your full focus. Or if that's not possible, then you respond, kindly and give them a specific time that you can talk. Maybe you tell your child, give me 10 minutes and then you'll have my full attention. Or same with a friend. So here you ensure that your immediate reaction reinforces the value of connection over, efficiency.
Great advice. So success isn't just about what you do, it's about how you show up. You can't grow what you don't examine. So, start today by reflecting and asking yourself, are your actions making you proud both on the human level and in the bigger scheme of things? That's the way you win that long game.
And that's your thought for the week. Don't let it stay just a quote. Let it challenge you, let it shape you. Try it in your life and see how it changes the way you think, the way you show up. We'll be back next week with another reading from our book, A Path to Resilience, Small Steps to an Unshakable You. Thanks for joining us.